Hi everybody, we're in chapter 4 and Sean, we're in a very action-packed but a tragedy-filled chapter.
Yes, this chapter marks the end of the house of Eli. It tells the story of the first battle of Even Ha'ezer, and in this chapter the ark is going to move from here at Shiloh out to Even Ha'ezer along the point which is between the coast and the mountains. Even Ha'ezer is identified as the site of Izbet Sarta, where we filmed Judges chapter 1 and which we showed our viewers. Again, the junction between the coast and the mountains. And it's at that point that the Israelites battle the Philistines and compete against the Philistines who want to enter into the mountains. The ark moves to Even Ha'ezer when the Israelites find that it's impossible for them to successfully beat the Philistines and push them back towards the coast.
Sean, I hear about the Philistines all the time, more than any of the other nations that we encounter during this story. You just mentioned that they come from the coastal area and they want to move inwards. Who are the Philistines?
Good question. Let's take a look at the map. The Philistines are one of a group of people who in the 12th century come from the Mediterranean, land on the coast of the land of Israel, and gradually establish themselves in this coastal area around the cities of Ashdod, Ashkelon, and Gaza. We find them in the stories of Samson moving northward into the Nachal Sorek region, the Wadi of Sorek region in this area, where Samson fights with them and tries to push them back. Now in the book of Samuel, we find the Philistines moving further northward and along these streams, trying to push into the interior of the country, and here the Israelites try to push them back. And in fact, we'll find them all the way through the book of Samuel, trying to move into the interior of the country, into the hill country, through many different passageways and many different streams. In our particular story, we find that the Israelites have to learn by bringing the ark from Shiloh to the point of conflict with the Philistines near Even Ha'ezer. We find that the Israelites have to learn that the ark is not a weapon.
Right, back to our story. We see that Israel march against the Philistines, but the Philistines defeat them and 4,000 Israelites are slain. That's when they have to find some kind of solution, and they see that in the Ark of the Covenant. So they then move to Shiloh to go and collect the Ark, and this is where Hophni and Pinchas come in. They bring the Ark of the Covenant from Shiloh to Afek. As they enter the camp, the Israelites are very excited. They burst out shouting, and this is where the Philistines get frightened because they hear it from the other side. They decide that they will fight for their lives because they don't want to become slaves to the Israelites. They go up against the Israelites and something terrible happens. Again, the Philistines defeat the Israelites. This time we lose 30,000 men, but worse than that, they capture the Ark of the Covenant.
And here we see that the Israelites had a mistaken understanding of the Ark of the Covenant. They think that by bringing the Ark to the battle, they are bringing God to the battle. They think in a sense that they can manipulate God and bring him onto their side. But God doesn't work that way. God isn't a plaything. And the Ark is only a representation of God. The Ark is a place where we remind ourselves of God. The Ark is not God. The Philistines say, the God has come to the camp when they see the Ark coming. Because the Philistines are idolaters, and they think that you can move a god, that a god is an idol. The Israelites should have known better. The Israelites should have known that the way to achieve victory is to obey God, not to pretend to manipulate him, not to bring the ark into the battlefield.
And this is where we see then a messenger, a Benjaminite, has to bring this story or the message back to Shiloh. How do we see the geography play a part in that?
Let's take a look at the map here. He brings the message back from the terrible battlefield at Afek, Even Ha'ezer in this region, coming back to Shiloh, either along the Shiloh stream or perhaps along the Kanas stream. The Shiloh stream leads us directly from Afek back to Shiloh. Here he breaks the news to Eli. Eli hears the news and dies. This is the end of the house of Eli, and now the leadership moves to Samuel.
Let's see what happens in the next chapter.